Hey everyone, I'm Trevor, and today we're at Disneyland to share with you our September construction update. And if any of you folks are wearing hats or glasses, best remove them, because this here's going to be one wild ride of a video. So let's get going. Let's go ahead and begin our construction update with great moments with Mr. Lincoln. Now, yes, this is still closed. No, we don't have any opening date information. However, at D23, about 2 weeks ago or so, we did get some more information about what's going on here. Previously, we'd reported that there was a rumor that, I think Mickey just came out, that there is a rumor that there is a Walt Disney animatronic in creation for Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, and that has now been confirmed. They have made a Walt animatronic, but we thought maybe Walt would just be introducing the show. Turns out Walt is getting his own show called Walt Disney: A Magical Life. Now, I suspect that that will debut with the 70th anniversary kickoff next year. The last time they had a big anniversary like this, it was the 60th, and the 60th anniversary ran from May 2015 through September 2016. So if the pattern holds, the 70th anniversary will kick off in May of 2025. Does that mean that Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln is going to be closed from now until then? It's always possible. It's also possible that once they finish the construction and the Walt show, that they'll open up Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln until that 70th kickoff. I still think that's whenever Walt Disney: A Magical Life is going to debut. It just makes sense that they would do that for the 70th. They also mentioned that after its initial run, that the Walt Disney: A Magical Life and Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln will be trading back and forth. What that tells me is that for a while after that debut, the only show here is going to be Walt Disney: A Magical Life, which means that you won't be able to see Great Moments from Mr. Lincoln during that initial run. What does the initial run mean? Is it just 2 months? Maybe from the beginning of the 70th, from May till Disneyland's birthday on July 17th? Or is it the entirety of the 70th, from May 2025 through September 2026. Again, these dates are just guesstimates. But if that is what they mean by its initial run, we may not see Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln again until 2026. Just a possibility. Again, there's your theories. We don't know for certain. This month, Jungle Cruise finds itself on the refurb calendar. It will be closing on Monday, September 16th, and reopening on Friday, October 4th. It will be closed for around 3 weeks. What are they doing? Well, if you've been here probably within the last year or so, and you've ridden Jungle Cruise, you've probably seen that our tiger scene, our Himalayan tiger, Himalayan over there, Himalayan over up here, right now him is standing. Yeah, that guy. He has been covered in construction walls. The tiger's still visible, but his area, exhibit if you will, is covered in construction walls. It's been that way for several months, and they are, from what I hear, they are fixing that up finally. So it'll be closed for 3 weeks for them to re-update, fix up the Himalayan tiger scene. As we reported last month, Indiana Jones will be closing in September, starting on Monday, September 9th, reopening on Saturday, September 14th. This is just a quick closure. We didn't have an ending date on our last construction update. It had just appeared on the refurb calendar, but it's just a very short one. This is pretty typical of Indiana Jones, especially as we're approaching a busy season, like the busy fall break October season. So they're just closing it for a week to do some quick maintenance to make sure that it can run, without issue through that time. And over this way, we have a couple of quick updates for you. For some reason, I couldn't figure out why, the Pirates Lair on Tom Sawyer Island will be closing on Monday, September 16th, and reopening on Thursday, September 19th. And again, that is going to be the island over here. You won't be able to get over to the island, Tom Sawyer Island at all during that time. But additionally, we also have news that the sailing ship Columbia will be closing. And this one will be closing on Monday, September 23rd, and reopening on Friday, September 27th. Why it's officially listed as being closed, I don't know. Half of the time it just sits over in that dock as you see it anyway. They pull it out a little bit later in the day and they run it concurrently with the Mark Twain riverboat. However, at least for those 4 or 5 days, It won't be running at all, they're telling us. I am quite happy to report that the pathway just outside of Haunted Mansion that leads over to Rise of the Resistance is open once more. This had been closed since July 8th. And today's date, when I'm filming this, is actually August 24th. It opened up sometime within the last week or so, which means that this has been closed for about a month and a half. And while it wasn't like a super big inconvenience, it is nice to have it open again. And it also has some good positive things for us as a result of this being open again. I am noticing that the fruit cart that was previously right here is still not back, however. But one positive item of note, at least to me anyway, is that Davy Crockett's Explorer Canoes is open again. There is now access. It's just not late enough in the day. This typically doesn't open until about 10 a.m. But I love the canoes, and it's just, you know, with so many rides closed, to have even this one open up again is just encouraging to me. And you can see those canoes down in the water, ready to go as soon as they open. But perhaps one of the more encouraging things with this pathway opening back up again is Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. Now, it is still not open, and we don't have a date for when it will be open. However, the bottom portion is open to back up again, so you can come in here and then grab a table, sit down, rest. The restrooms in there are open. And of course, we also have the new sign up already, Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. So what is going on here exactly? Well, again, we don't have a specific opening date, but what we do know is that the Disney Parks blog and Disney Eats has already put out the foodie guide for Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. You can see all the food that's going to be coming here, and since they've already launched that foodie guide, it's encouraging to me that we're not going to have to wait another 3 months to have this open. I don't think that it's going to take that long for Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree to open back up again. We don't have to wait for Tiana's, which is going to open. Oh, I forgot to mention that, but I'll mention it now. Tiana's Bayou Adventure officially has an opening date, also from D23, of November 15th. That is Friday, November 15th. It is the kickoff of the Christmas season here at Disneyland. And you might say, why are they waiting that long? If you recall, we'd been theorizing that they would open around September 30th, and that would have been if they were following the Walt Disney World timeline. Just from the different key points in the construction, that we should have seen it opening at September 30th around the earliest. However, since Walt Disney World has opened, it has been plagued with issues. And I feel like maybe Disneyland is taking this opportunity to have it closed for the extra month and a half in order to make sure that we don't experience those same issues here. I don't imagine that there would have been construction setbacks, because we don't have the rain and things that would have set back construction in Walt Disney World. So I have no idea what the other reason for the delay might be. So that's just my theory, that they want to make sure everything's working properly. But anyway, I don't think we're going to have to wait for Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree until November 15th, because this pathway has already opened back up again. They've got the sign up. They've already produced the foodie guide online. We don't have an official date yet. The refurb calendar goes out through October 5th as of the time of this filming, and we don't have Hungry Bear coming off the refurb calendar. But with this sort of a thing, I wouldn't be surprised if it just, it gets announced that it'll open up 2 or 3 weeks from now. And even though the refurb calendar goes out 6 weeks, they're just going to say it's closed until they officially announce a date. They're not going to announce the date by slipping it in the refurb calendar. They're going to make an actual announcement. And so that's what I'm thinking, but I definitely expect it to come back before November 15th, just because of all these really good signs that are popping up around it. Somebody is inevitably going to ask, though, how about Winnie the Pooh? At the moment, the walkway down into Critter Country, soon to be called Bayou Country, is still closed. And we don't know if that's going to open any earlier. I don't know if it's going to open before November 15th. I would be highly surprised if it opens earlier, and the reason I say that is because I feel like Disney is going to want to basically make that reveal of walking down into the area where the entrance to Tiana's Bayou Adventure is kind of like a surprise, if you will. I mean, right now the Disneyland Railroad's even closed, so you can't even drive by on that to get a look at the construction like we used to be able to do in times past. So I do think that they're going to keep it closed until November 15th. I could be wrong. they could open it up earlier and just keep the entrance to Tiana's closed. It's always a possibility. I'm just sharing you what I think is going to happen, and I think that they're going to keep Winnie the Pooh and that entire Bayou Country area closed until November the 15th. I hope I'm wrong, though. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. And if you want to save money on your next Disneyland vacation, call my friends at Getaway today and tell them that SoCal Disney Dad sent you. Or click the link down in the description and use my coupon code to save on their already discounted packages. Dumbo the Flying Elephant once again finds itself on the refurb schedule again, this time for just a single day. It's in October, actually. It closes on October 1st, reopens on October 2nd. I think that's a Tuesday and a Wednesday. So closes on Tuesday, October 1st, reopens on Wednesday, October 2nd. I don't know if this is another closure in addition to the one that happened here in August, or if the August one got delayed. I don't usually pay super close attention to the refurb calendars after I film this particular video. I don't know if this one just got taken off and moved to October, or if this is a second refurb, but whatever the case may be, it's just like a day for maintenance, that's all. I apologize in advance if the only day you have in the park is Tuesday, October 2nd, and you were wanting to ride Dumbo. This next one is quite a bit perplexing to me. It's A Small World finds itself on the refurb calendar already. Every single year, It's a Small World has two very predictable closures. 2 weeks prior to the start of the Christmas season and 2 weeks after the end of the Christmas season. This year, we're throwing that completely out the window. Starting on Monday, September 16th, It's a Small World will be closed, and it will be closed for 2 months when it reopens on November 15th at the start of the Christmas season as It's a Small World holiday. And again, typically this changeover just takes about 2 weeks. So in addition to the changeover, they're also going to be performing general maintenance inside the attraction. And 2 months isn't even enough, apparently, because I have read, I don't know where these people get this information, insider information, I don't know, but it will be closing again on January 21st. So the holiday version will actually be sticking around a little bit longer than usual. Generally speaking, it closes just after Christmas ends, sometime around January 7th or 8th. The date always changes a little bit, but that's generally the area when It's a Small World would close for it to be switched back to the normal It's a Small World. But it'll be hanging out until January 21st, and then it will be closing for an indeterminate refurb. They're just saying that we'll reopen. They are just saying that it will reopen in spring of 2025. Spring could be March, spring could be May, spring could be anywhere in between. We have no clue, but it'll be closed for at minimum probably about 2 months after it closes again in January, as it continues to update and fix some of these things that I guess need fixing. It's just, again, overall maintenance, touch-ups, that sort of thing, but it's going to take 4 months over the course of a couple of different time periods as we've outlined them here in this video. Over here outside of Toontown and across from It's a Small World, the construction walls that were up around the Fantasyland Theater here are down. So that's nice, big wide open pathway again. However, as you will see on the sign, we have no shows, nothing going on in the theater at the moment. They had the Pixar Pals Play Together thing. I don't even know what it was called. I can't ever keep these names straight that they have, but it's still all decked out for Pixar back here. However, I have not heard what they are doing with this theater. So in January, the Lion King show made its final appearance here, and this was the mainstay show that used to be at this theater. And they haven't really announced putting anything permanently back in its place since. They have occasionally been using it for little things, like they used it for a couple of weekends in February for, I don't even remember, like some sort of soul celebration. I don't remember, again, the actual name of that event. And then, of course, they used it for April through August for Pixar Pals. And they might come up with some other, like, one-off usages of the theater. But again, I have not heard any official announcements about any new permanent shows. Along with that, a lot of you have asked me if the Hyperion Theater will be getting a new permanent show. We haven't had anything in there since August of last year when Rogers the Musical was in there. And again, still no information on whether or not we're getting any new shows. The shows are slowly but surely disappearing and being like, I don't know what the right word is. Wheedled, windled, twindled. I'm terrible with words sometimes, but they're just disappearing. Whittled! That was the word I was looking for. It always comes to me eventually. Both the Disneyland monorail, which is behind me here, and the Disneyland Railroad have already closed here in the month of August. And as far as the refurb calendar goes out, which again is through Saturday, October 5th at the moment, both of them are still listed as closed on the calendar. When will they reopen? Anybody's guess. Why are they closed? Well, both of them are due to construction, but have nothing to do with the rides themselves. It just has to do with the construction in the area where the rides go. For instance, we have Tiana's Bayou Adventure construction going on and, getting towards completion here with the Disneyland Railroad, where the monorail here goes through downtown Disney, and it goes by the Parkside Markets, by the Disneyland Hotel, the Lego store, that sort of thing. In fact, in a previous video, we reported that they closed the restrooms right next to the Lego store, so that was right beneath the monorail track over that way. So the Parkside Markets construction, I guess, is pushing over into that area. Exactly what they're doing, I'm not sure. We still don't have an official opening date for the Parkside Markets yet either. However, I'm looking forward to when that does open. Soul Sister especially is the restaurant that I want to go to the most. Korean food. I cannot wait to give that one a try. Seoul spelled like Seoul, South Korea. And Soul Sister is probably the one of the, I think there's 4 different restaurants coming to the Parkside Markets. Cannot wait until we have more information there. Space Mountain, of course, has been closed for a good chunk of the month of August. It'll be reopening on Friday, September 6th. If you missed last month's video, what they're doing right now is they're just updating some of the lighting. The lights in the tunnel after the launch sequence were broken for quite a while, so they're fixing that up and a few other things as well. But that month-long refurb for Space Mountain is drawing close to a close. Before we head over to Disney California Adventure, there is one update that I want to share with you, and that is that Magic Happens is gone officially. For the time being, they are replacing it with a Halloween cavalcade right now that runs at 1:45 and 2:45. Currently, we're camped out on Main Street at the moment, waiting for that cavalcade. I can hear the music. It's coming this way, so we're going to see what it's like. For the rest of our construction update, we are going to hop on over to Disney California Adventure. The cavalcade was nice and short. Pretty much every cast member that was working in the park today was on that cavalcade. I've seen many of them, like Peter Pan and the Mad Hatter, out and about today. Like, I actually recognized those cast members. So I think they did just take every single character that was in the park and threw it in the cavalcade, and it was a nice little cavalcade. What did you think?
I liked it.
Yeah?
I want to be one of the, evil stepsisters where you get paid to be obnoxious all day.
Somebody in a recent video commented that they wish they would be able to see Gaston, and I said, we have Gaston. I've met him, and he was back in that cavalcade. I'm pretty sure it's the same Gaston that I met the one time too. Of course, Halloween stuff is up now. They've already got it up because yesterday was the start of the Halloween season here at the Disneyland Resort. Not necessarily construction, you'll just notice Halloween things up as we walk around the park. Of course, the most notable place for these appearance changes is going to be Cars Land itself. You can see those cones hanging from up top there, but even the entrance to the sign Happy Halloween, and they have a little witch car out front for you to take a photo with. They do have an area closed for refurbishment that it is not, you're not going to find this on the refurbishment calendar. This is just a boots on the ground walking through the park sort of thing. This wall has been up for a little while now. It is the area around the Cozy Cone area. Now Cozy Cone's still open. You just can't get to it from this pathway. You used to be able to just head right up here and you'd be able to get into there. Now you have to walk around up the main path of Route 66 and go in the other direction. But I don't know what exactly they're doing behind this construction wall. And I can peek. Let's see if we can peek. No, couldn't peek with the camera. It was getting too blurry, but it's just a bunch of dirt and construction-y things. The next update here is a bit bittersweet. And what is that? Well, World of Color, which takes place right in this area here behind me, is officially listed as down for refurb. Why is that bitter? Well, that's because it's down and we have no idea when it is going to come back. It begins to be closed on Monday, September 9th. That is the first day that it's listed as closed, and we still don't have a reopening date for it. What is going on? Well, it is still been World of Color 1, which is the Disney 100 celebration version of World of Color that debuted at the start of the Disney 100 at the beginning of last year. That celebration ended early this year, end of last year-ish, and that show has still hung around even so. So I hope that they are returning this to the original show. That's part of the suite, because if they are returning it to the regular World of Color, it's so much better in my opinion. But the actual suite that I'm getting at here is that this is the only closure in Disney California Adventure. With everything that is closed at Disneyland, it is a breath of fresh air that the only thing on the refurb calendar for Disney California Adventure is World of Color. Everything else is open. Everything else is going. I feel like, remember we announced last month about that animation building closing and things? Unless it's already opened again and I just can't remember the dates of anything. It's open and there's, it's not going to be closed. So that's good. That's great. And this is World of Color's it. Of course, after I said that, Disney makes a big announcement about DCA. And so while I'm editing it, I thought we'd talk about this at home for a brief moment. News has come out that the red car trolley at Disney California Adventure, which opened in 2012, will be going away. It's an unofficial ride, if you will. It's not like on any ride lists, I feel like, but it still goes around the front half of the park, and people like to ride it. In fact, Amy rode it for the very first time this past week, and they are getting rid of it. Why? Well, the place where the trolley stays, the trolley housing station, is backstage behind Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. And in this area, they are performing the Avengers Campus expansion. So they need to get rid of the building where the trolley is housed. And unfortunately, that means that the trolley has to disappear. What are they going to do with the track? They're either going to fill it in or they're going to leave it. I hope they fill it in. A lot of people have said that the, stroller wheels get stuck in that, wheelchair wheels get stuck in that, and if they're not going to be using the trolley, take out the track. That would require them to put up construction walls at least through the middle of the path. This isn't taking place until early 2025, so it's not necessarily relevant for this video, but the news just came out, so I did want to share it with you all. We are going through downtown Disney on our way out, and we are encountering these big boxes, construction walls, if you will. I don't know what's behind them. I wonder if it's related to like the trash can situation from before. No visible progress over here at Marceline's Confectionery in their expansion efforts. They still just have the little kiosks out front there, but we don't even have any signage or nothing on the outside to indicate that this might be done soon. Oh, we were just walking by Splitsville here, and I almost didn't even notice it. But the fountain is gone. I mean, we knew that they were removing it. We saw the big construction wall in the last construction update, but I almost walked right by and didn't even remember that the fountain was here to go, oh, it's missing. Like, that's just how good I feel like Disney often, like, look at the pavement differences, okay? The pavement we're standing on right here would have been no different than what we had before, and it doesn't look like there's like a marked difference at all. And what you're seeing over there is just light reflections from like windows. And if you're curious as to why they did that, because the news that I've heard anyway is that when they tear down Tortilla Joe's, they're replacing it with 2 restaurants in the same footprint. So I think they're expanding over into that area as well. And the Parkside markets down here at the end of downtown Disney continue to make progress. Nothing like that tells me this is going to open anytime soon, though. Still lots of framework and scaffolding and all sorts of stuff that again, it doesn't look anywhere near completion, but still making progress, always getting closer. Hopefully we'll be able to eat there. I don't know when. Our kids also actually just ate dinner at Earl of Sandwich at the other end of downtown Disney, so they still have not closed that. They have not started any construction progress on what will be replacing it. However, this one has been open now for about a month. This pickup window, this little kiosk at the end of downtown Disney, and again, the front one is actually still open. Both locations have been open now for about a month. And that's it for our time here today at Disneyland, giving you a construction update for the month of September. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer them. Click this video to keep watching. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.